Senator Ron Johnson has stunned this week, revealing that he's pushing for a congressional hearing to review September 11. This from Zero Hedge. Building 7 controlled demolition. Republican senator plans shock 9/11 hearing, says, "My eyes have been opened." Johnson, who serves on the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, raised questions about the World Trade Center Building 7's collapse, saying the documentary film calling out Bravo 7 has sparked an awful lot of questions. Here is a clip from his recent appearance with Benny Johnson. Take a listen.
What would you like to know about September 11th, the official story there, Senator?
Well, start with Building 7. Again, I don't know that you can find structural engineers other than the ones that have the corrupt investigation inside NIST that would say that that thing didn't come down in any other way than a controlled demolition. I mean, you just look at that. You talk about molten steel. Again, you listen to the documentary Bravo 7. There's an awful lot of questions. You know, who ordered the removal and then destruction of all that evidence? Totally contrary to any other firefighting investigation procedures. I mean, who ordered that? Who was in charge? I think there's some basic information. Where's all the documentation from the NIST investigation? No, there are a host of questions that I want, and I will be asking, quite honestly, now that my eyes have been opened up. I've talked to former Congressman Kurt Weldon now. I will work with him to expose what he's willing to expose as well.
Wow. So we may actually see hearings about this.
I think so. And by the way, this was opened up when my ranking member now, when he was chairman of the Permanent Subcommittee Investigation, he did the investigation on the PGA and Live Golf and the PIF. Part of that is we had 9/11 families coming forward and saying, we want the FBI files unredacted. We want those made available in terms of what happened. What did the FBI know had happened? So we got engaged with that on a bipartisan basis. We wanted to get those answers, those documents for the families. Again, we didn't get squat from the FBI. So hopefully now with this administration, I think President Trump should have some interest being a New Yorker from himself. What actually happened in 9/11? What do we know? What is being covered up? My guess is there's an awful lot being covered up in terms of what the American government knows about 9/11.
Well, it is certainly encouraging to hear Senator Ron Johnson saying his eyes were opened after watching the documentary recommended by Kurt Weldon on his recent appearance with Tucker Carlson. And kudos to Tucker for talking about these contentious topics, by the way. Last week, we reported specifically on 9/11 and zoned in on Building 7, the only building in history to collapse at free fall speed into its own footprint from a small fire and no plane impact. Let us remind you that this was a 47-story skyscraper. Let us also remind you that this building housed a lot of FBI files. It's been said that it held a large portion of confidential FBI and intelligence agency files, conveniently. And during the campaign trail, President Trump said he would declassify 9/11, amongst other things. Take a listen.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
So it's great that we want to hold a hearing on this, but why would we need a hearing if we're supposed to get declassified files? In the wake of the Epstein file bungle and not all information being released on the JFK assassination as we were promised initially, it does seem strange that we would do another hearing after the last one was set up literally to embed the false narrative instead of just push for the urgent declassification of those files. People, for the most part, are sick of hearings and dialogues and discussions with softball questions and narratives and zero accountability at the end of them. Declassify all the files in their entirety, unredacted, and we will decide. If they've been lying to us about something as world-changing as 9/11 was, even down to the smallest, seemingly irrelevant detail, what else could they have possibly lied to us about? And let me add that if they can get away with something as huge as 9/11 on US soil, then the next big thing will be worse. And many would argue that they did get away with the next big thing, which was COVID. So if we don't see accountability for 9/11 and we don't see accountability for COVID, then rest assured the next one will be even bigger. We can't let that happen. Now, before we go, we want to tell you about how millions of Americans are taking advantage of these uncertain times in financial markets. Tariffs, auditing Fort Knox, government shutdowns, escalating wars, and governments running out of money. There's no wonder there is extreme volatility in the markets. Silver and gold thrive in times of chaos as they are now. Take advantage of this once-in-a-generation opportunity to thrive and call Kirk Elliott Precious Metals at 720-605-3900 or go to kepm.com/pulse. Learn how to protect your retirement assets with a firm that will educate you, not overcharge you with high commission gold and silver, and doesn't charge a commission when you sell. Call them today, 720-605-3900. There are ads for gold and silver on nearly every show these days, but I have a warning for you. Don't overpay for your stuff. Stay away from overpriced, high commission, rare or semi-rare coins for personal delivery or in your IRAs. Only purchase low-cost bullion that is 100% liquid from a firm that doesn't even charge a commission when you liquidate. Call KEPM at 720-605-3900 or go to kepm.com/pulse to learn more and take advantage of what may be the largest bull market of a generation.